In 2014, I want to bring in Midwin Charles, attorney at Midwin Charles and Associates. My panel, Brendan Greeley and Senator Bob Torricelli. Midwin, President Trump clearing the slate for Dinesh D'Souza makes the fifth pardon since the president took office. I know there are parts of the White House, i.e. Jared Kushner's side of the house, that has been working on prison reform. They thought with Kim Kardashian's visit this week, we might see a woman who's been in jail for the last 22 years, still serving a life sentence for a nonviolent drug crime. She might get pardoned, but alas, no. Dinesh D'Souza, Martha Stewart, and maybe Blago. What do you make of the way the president is using his pardoning power, which again, it's his power to do it?
Well, there are two things. One, I think it sort of is, he's basically sending a message. Politically, I think, when you look at the people that he has pardoned, Joe Arpaio as well, you have to add to the list. Joe Arpaio,
and I should correct myself, Blago is in consideration.
Is in consideration, right? And Dinesh D'Souza, who pled guilty for illegal campaign violations. I think what he's doing is sending a message to those who are currently under the scope of Mueller to say, hey, listen, if you have my back, I'll have your back. Because, I mean, this is foreshadowing, right? And if you look at Blagojevich, for example, he's also someone who was convicted of pay for play. And those are some of the crimes that his attorney, Michael Cohen, is looking at, and the like. But if you also look at the Dinesh D'Souza pardon, as well as Joe Arpaio, both those men are on the record for saying racist things. And what I think is almost dangerous, was the most dangerous about these pardons, is it sends this message that what these men have done is okay. Joe Arpaio was convicted for violating an order where he was told not to discriminate against migrants or immigrants in Arizona. He did it anyway. Dinesh D'Souza called President Obama a monkey, said Michelle Obama looked like an ape, and I mean a long record of racist statements, and yet he pardons him. Also, what's dangerous about this, or I think very unusual, is once again, Donald Trump is skirting or flouting our norms. I checked the DOJ website for how pardons are supposed to go. Usually someone makes a petition, usually they have to wait 5 years, and the Department of Justice is very clear in saying, by the way, if you get a pardon, this does not connote innocence. It means that you have accepted responsibility for what you've done. So I hope Dinesh D'Souza recognizes that he isn't innocent just because he's getting a pardon.
I don't think he particularly cares about that. He's just happy that the president just hooked him up. Senator, pardons have worked that way for years and years. Presidents hooking people up in some cases for various reasons. But I want to share what Michael Beschloss, presidential historian, said on why he thinks Trump is handling pardons the way he is.
This is sort of classic Trump. I think he's trying to numb people so that if he does these strange pardons, then if he goes on to Cohen and Manafort and people who can actually do real harm to him, unless they are pardoned, perhaps people will be a little bit more tolerant, he thinks.
So, Senator, Michael's saying, you know, in a sense, president's sending out a whistle to Michael Cohen like, I love you, man, I got your back.
Yeah, I don't think Donald Trump cares about Blagojevich or Martha Stewart or any of these people or their cases or justice or fairness. This is all a telegraph.